All right, here we go. Azie Faison, welcome back to VladTV.
Yes, indeed, Playboy. What's happening, man? What's
Everything
on your
good,
mind?
man.
What's on your mind, Vlad?
Well, we did an interview 5 years ago. It was a very big interview. A lot of people saw it. Millions and millions of people got to view it. But with the recent passing of Alpo, we thought we'd bring you back and talk about that whole situation and kind of recap your story one more time for everyone that hasn't seen the original.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's go ahead and start in the very beginning. So you were born in the 60s in New York.
1964, yes, sir. Bronx, New York. Moved to Harlem when I was 6 years old.
Well, living in the Bronx, number one, how many brothers and sisters?
Damn. 5 sisters, 2 brothers.
Okay. Same father, different fathers?
Different fathers.
Okay, so in terms of your father in your household, was your father around or it was a single mother situation?
My father met my father met my mother when she was 20 years old, and she already had maybe like 5 children already. And my father was 40 at the time, but he told my mom he got her, and he stayed with her until he passed away, brother. Took care of her until he passed away. Good man, a good man, great man, one of the greatest men I ever met in my life. Went to work and just came home and took care of his family. Never drunk, never did none of the foolishness, bro.
Okay, but your mom had 5 kids by the time she was 20?
Yes.
Oh.
My sister.
Okay, did you ever ask her why so many children at such a young age?
Nah, I guess, being young out there at the time, it is what it is, bro. I don't know. But I never asked a question. I just understood and just realized that I got to play my role to help provide for my family, bro.
Well, you're originally living in the Bronx, but I guess the building ended up burning down?
Yeah, the building burnt down. The building burnt down when I was 6 years old. Me and my little sister was in the building, in the apartment. My mother had left out the house and left us in the house because she was running to the store, but she was cooking. And I think she took whatever happened, the shit caught on fire. And my pops rescued me and my sister from the fire. And we stood outside, we watched the whole building burn down. And then we was placed in the shelter for about 6 months until we was relocated in Harlem on 146 in St. Nicholas, Sugar Hill.
It's pretty rough, though, to be in a shelter for half a year with that many kids.
Yes, at 6 years old, you don't really know the difference. It's just what it is. But I guess my mom and pops, they understood what it was. But you have to, do what you got to do, brother, under the circumstances.
Okay, so after the shelter, you then relocate to Sugar Hill in Harlem.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what was Harlem like during that time? Because we're talking about the early 70s.
On the hill, there was a lot of, Sugar Hill was popular, man, because all the major spots, hangouts, after hour spots, the bars, the gambling spots was right there in that area, man. You had the Blue Book, Mark 4, Triggers Lounge. What's the name of that other spot? Marshall's gambling spot. It was, it was the place to be, Sugar Hill, in that area, bro. For the nightlife, you feel me?
Right. And during that time, you had kind of some legendary street figures from Harlem. If you go back, you had Bumpy Johnson. You had, and you move forward a little bit, you have Frank Lucas, Nicky Barnes, and so forth.
Yes, sir.
Did those types of names ring bells when you were growing up?
Of course, you heard about the Nicky Barnes and Bumpy Johnson. There was an old man named Chisholm. Chisholm was Bumpy Johnson, one of his right-hand men, and he used to live on the hill. he grew up in that section. He was doing the same work that Bumpy was doing for a woman named Miss Harriet, bodyguarding, because she was a number banker at that time, a woman named Miss Harriet. So he used to come in the cleaners when I was working in the cleaners, and he used to tell me all the old stories about Bumpy Johnson and stuff like that. You know, he told me one time that Chisholm said that he said something real foul to Lucky Luciano. Him and Bumpy had a meeting with Lucky and them, and he said something foul to Lucky. You know, I'm not going to say it, but, you know, said something real crazy to him. Then Lucky took off, he said Lucky took off his pinky ring, a platinum ring, and gave it to him. And said, Bumpy, you got a good man here. Because anybody talked to me like that, I'd have murdered him. This is what he said. This is what Chiz told me. So, you know, old man Chiz, I think he's still living, man. And you give a shout out to Chiz. I learned a lot from that man about the streets.
Well, during that time, heroin was really the drug of choice.
In the 70s, yes.
In the 70s. Now, growing up as a kid in that area, did you see the junkies or the dope houses or anything?
Around on Sugar Hill, it wasn't like that. I'm not going to lie. Up on the hill, it wasn't like that, but you heard about it, like being on 116th Street, down in that area, on 16th Street, down in the valley, like in that area. It wasn't on the hill that much, but you heard about it. The people leaning into the street, you hear about Big Hand Cloyd. You hear all these stories, but it wasn't on the hill like that.
Yeah, I mean, Sugar Hill, from what I understand, was where like some of the black movie stars were living and so forth, right?
Yeah, some of them was up there. There was a building called the Bari Building. A lot of famous people lived in that building.
Right.
I think Kareem Abdul-Jabbar lived in there. Gil Scott Heron lived in there. A few people, man. A few people.
Okay. But, you know, by this time, after you guys moved to Sugar Hill, was your mom still on welfare and still struggling, or did you guys stabilize a little?
No, definitely. She was on welfare. She was on welfare when we moved to Sugar Hill, 1970. Yes, she was on welfare. And being honest, man, you know, when the welfare used to pop up on us, you know, my pops had to climb out the window. We lived on the first floor. You had to climb out the window because if your parents, they would cut you off of welfare if you got a man in the house providing for the family. So, you had to do all those type of things to survive, bro.
Yeah, that's such a backward system to this day. I mean, the fact that you get penalized by having a man in the house, like, it's just crazy to me.
You know, I guess they don't, you know, if you could have, but the money that they was giving back then, you still couldn't really survive off of that shit, bro. You understand? Yeah. If you got to eat bologna sandwiches and shit like that for dinner every night, you know what I mean? But it'll definitely force you to do something against the law, bro, under those circumstances.
Now, Rich Porter, at what age did you actually get to know him initially?
I think I met Rich maybe when he was like 13, 14. I think he lived on Convent, and I lived on St. Nicholas. It's like one block apart, same block, 146. He lived on 146 in Convent, and I lived on St. Nicholas.
Okay, now Rich Porter actually started selling initially heroin at age 12. So that was like around 1977. So by the time you met him, was he already selling drugs?
Not really. He was not really. I known him selling newspapers, you know, anything to try to stay afloat and shit. And I known him to sell. The first thing I know him to sell was sage and eggs. He would cook up the sage and eggs, and it smells like hash, and he would sell it to the white boys coming out of Jersey as hash, and they would buy it. You feel me? But it was sage and eggs, and he did that until I think he got with a cat named Ellison, and him and Ellison started selling, I believe, heroin. And I think he stamped his heroin bags was called Much Better. And he started making money doing that.
Okay, so you're growing up in Harlem, you're going to high school, but then in the 9th grade, you end up dropping out.
Yes, sir. I dropped out in the 9th grade.
Was there a reason why you dropped out?
to make ends meet, man. Being honest, the reason why I dropped out because I was working in the cleaners, right? I started working in the cleaners, and I felt if I worked full time, I'll make more money and shit. You feel me? But my salary never changed. I still got $75 a week, and that's all I ever made in that cleaners was $75 a week. You understand? And even though I used to get tips when I delivered clothes and certain things like that, but that's the reason why I dropped out. Being honest, to try to help make ends meet, bro.
Okay. So you're working at the cleaners, and the owner of the cleaners was actually an ex-drug dealer himself, right?
He wasn't a drug dealer. He was a number writer.
Okay.
He used to, take numbers and shit. You feel me? And all the number bankers used to come in there every Saturday morning and drop their numbers off to him. He was like a banker. Him and this guy named Junior. He used to live in the Bari building too. These was number bankers. You feel me? And that's what the cleaners was at first. It was like a front. It wasn't really supposed to be a cleaners, but it eventually, started picking up. The business started picking up, doing cleaning stuff. So it became a cleaners. Yes.
Okay, so you're working the cleaners, and at this point, you're 100% legit. You're just doing your 9-to-5 job, getting your little money.
Good kid.
A good kid, helping your mom out with rent money.
That's it.
And
That's
so
all.
forth.
Yes, sir.
Now, in terms of your age, your brothers and sisters, were they older, younger? Were you in the middle? Or?
My sisters, 3 sisters is older than me. And my oldest brother was older than me. So I feel I was the middle kid. Because I got a younger sister, 2 younger sisters, and a younger brother. So I was in the middle, definitely.
Okay. And by this point, were any of your siblings dabbling in the streets at all?
Not at all. My sisters maybe was messing with guys from the streets. 2 of them, to my knowledge. They was messing with guys from the street, but they wasn't doing anything illegal themselves. Nobody.
Okay, so here you are working at the cleaners, doing the straight and narrow thing, but Rich is already starting to really ramp up in his, in terms of his street activities.
Yes, sir.
And by 1981, by right around 15, 16 years old, Rich's first car was a BMW.
BMW, black on black 528E. Black and white lamb seats, block punk system. Yes. But before that, LA, because LA hooked up. LA was like the first young dude in our generation that I seen with a brand new car. It was a Saab 900 Turbo, rimmed out system. And LA had to be about 15, 16 years old. And this is how he pulling up in the streets, bro.
Okay, so you have these kids who are, sophomore, juniors in high school, if they're even going to school, pulling up in what the equivalent today is like $50,000, $60,000 cars.
Foreign cars, yes, sir. Back then.
Okay, and how did that affect you? Like seeing your friend pulling up on a car like this?
Wow. I remember, I'll never forget the day. We was playing 2-hand touch football. Like my crew from the block is like, who I grew up with, like in the block. The ones that was trying to go to straight and narrow and shit. Like Stan, Winnie, Fats, Sterl. We used to play 2-hand. My brother Kev, we used to play 2-hand touch football in the block all the time. And I'll never forget the day. Rich, L.A., cat named Doo-Wop, Craigo, John, they all flying through in foreign cars, Volvos, BMs, Audi, back to back. And we had to like jump back out the streets because they almost hit us. And I'm like, wow, bro. Wow, I think we playing the wrong game. These young boys got foreign cars. Fuck they doing? Systems in them joint? That looked crazy to us. And I don't think we played football no more after that, bro. Everybody went home and said, hey, we got to put a plan together. You know what I mean? Facts.
Okay, and was it around that time that Rich was having you hold some drugs and guns and so forth?
Rich used to come to the cleaners and drop off clothes. And I used to get my clothes done for free. So I know Jimmy knew it wasn't my clothes, whatever, but I used to pretend that it was my clothes, and I would get his clothes for free, and he, cleaned for free. And he would give me some money. This is how we, became cool. And I used to do this on the regular for him, and we became tight. And then he was like, yo, I need you to hold this for me, bro. I need you to hold that for me, certain things. It might be drugs sometime. And, one time it definitely was a gun. And I used to hold it in the cleaners, stash it somewhere in there. Yes, that's facts.
Okay. So you were doing that for him, but you weren't actually dabbling yourself at that point.
No, I wasn't doing anything, bro. I was just holding it for him at that point.
Well, then in 1983, the movie Scarface comes out.
Yes, sir.
And from what I understand, that just changed everyone's perception of the drug game.
It taught you the game, bro. If you didn't know, now you know. Now you know, bro. It definitely blew a lot of people's mind. You feel me? Hypnotized a lot of people, bro. You feel me?
Okay. And was it later that year after Scarface came out that you met Lulu?
It seemed like it was right around the corner, bro. It's like I met Lulu, and then he gave me some work. I took it to the streets, and next thing you know, I'm in the game, bro. I'm in the game. Overnight success. The prices was the best. The material was the best. And it was coke. I never sold crack a day in my life with straight coke in the bottles. And blew up overnight, bro. Overnight.
Well, Lulu was Dominican, right?
I think he was Colombian, bro. I think so, bro.
Oh, okay. So he's Colombian, and he has some crazy connect where he has as many kilos as he needs.
Get what you? Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And he just basically, he was shopping at the cleaners, right? That's how you guys met?
No, he wasn't shopping in the cleaners. He was, he used to have a spot on 157th Street and between Broadway and Amsterdam, a pool hall. And a friend of mine, being honest, used to go up there and buy things from him and then introduce me to him. And he knew that I was working in the cleaners. And one thing led to the next. I think I found something. He gave me some clothes or some shit. However it went down, I can't really recall, bro. But I found some shit in his pocket. And I gave it back to him. He's like, nah, keep that. And then one thing led to the next. I took that shit to the streets and that's how we became connected, bro.
Okay, so
in the movie, they made it so like, they didn't put all that in there because they don't want to drag it out. You feel me? But, but it was similar to something like that in the movie, if you understand what I'm saying.
Okay, so he basically just gives you some free cocaine.
Not a lot. It was just a little bit. Like 2 grams that I found. Keep that, bro. But I take it, to someone, let them test it out. They said it was some good shit. You feel me? And they bought it off of me. And I take them back the money. He was like, okay, cool. Next thing you know, you feel me? And I start getting, a little bit of shit, but I'm moving that shit I'm moving it so fast that it was unbelievable to him. Because I'm getting robbed. I'm really getting robbed in the street because I don't really know that I'm giving so much away for such a young price and shit. You feel me? And that's how that started, bro.
Well, in that early time, you're dealing with drug addicts, and these are not the nicest of people. Are they trying to, do anything to you? Knowing that you're green as well.
Back then, being honest, see, crack and cocaine is 2 different type of people. Cokeheads is like, they classy still. They not no bums and shit. You feel what I'm saying? That's a rich man's high. It's just so they carrying themselves, you know, with respect. It's a difference when you're dealing with a crackhead that's thirsty, you know, do anything for that shit. You know what I mean? It's a difference. So cokeheads, you know, I don't even want to call them cokeheads. It's just these people they got a little more class. So you ain't got nothing to worry about in that field, to me, personally speaking.
Got it. Okay. So here you are, you're starting to work with Lulu. He's giving you some coke, you sell it, come back, get some more coke. But you're still working at the dry cleaners.
I'm not even working in it. I'm not even working in the cleaners at that point when I'm really moving with Lulu like that.
Right. But right around that time, though, I guess the owner of the cleaner starts to find drugs and stuff, you know, and fires you.
I was stashing something for Rich. He found it. He got mad, told me he had to let me go because of, you know, blah, 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 blah. I wasn't mad because I'm ready to go to the streets anyway, man. You know what I mean? For real. But prior for me selling coke, I was selling liquor, bootlegging liquor in the cleaners on Sundays. In other words, I would take my $75 that he would pay me, and I would go to the liquor store and spend the $75 on liquor because Sunday the liquor stores was closed, but the people wanted liquor anyway, so I would charge them double for the bottle, so my $75 would turn into $150. That was my first hustle. And he would let me do that. He would let me do that on Sundays. You feel me?
Got it. Now, by 1985, Rich Porter ends up getting into a shooting situation.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What exactly was that about? I guess someone had tried to shoot at him and he shot back.
LA got killed. LA got killed by the rooftop. The guys that, you know, wanted, after LA got killed, I guess they was trying to murder Rich. He was getting his car washed on 109th and Manhattan Avenue. Some dudes tried to shoot at him. He had his gun on him. He firing at them. The police come. They catch Rich and the other two get away. Rich had a bulletproof vest on him and a gun. So he locked Rich up and he wound up copping out for a year in prison for the gun. And he wound up doing a year in prison.
Got it. So Rich goes away.
Yes, sir. And
during that time, that's when you start getting deeper into the cocaine.
I'm gone now. I'm moving 100 miles an hour. Yeah. $30,000 a day with ease by myself on the stoop, brother. Hand to hand.
Yep. And this is 1985. So is crack hitting New York right around that time?
Crack is there. Crack is there. Like I said, it's two different worlds. It was a spot called 404, right around the corner from 146, between Convent and St. Nicholas. A spot called 404, free base. Before they turned it was called crack. Killing them. They had to be making at least about $40,000 to $50,000 a day in there. Easy. Now, when the spot get busted back then, they would lock them up, but they would let them go and drop the case because the coke, when they sent it to the laboratory, the shit came back as baking soda. So it was like everybody stopped selling heroin and whatever they was selling. Everybody started selling crack in the hoods because you couldn't go to jail for that shit for about a year. And that's how it exploded to me, like, you know what I mean? Until they found out what it is and then they put a law on it, you feel me? Labeled it crack and, you know, you start doing time for it. But the damage already had been done, bro.
Yeah. But you personally, you're only doing cocaine.
Yes, sir.
And by this time, you know, as Rich is going to prison, do you have spots? Are you working corners, or are you just wholesaling to other drug dealers?
I started out on the hill in my mother's, in where I lived at, in the building where I lived at. Then I got locked up there on some bullshit. They caught me with a couple of bottles. I got out of prison, and the next day they locked me up again. I was like, yo, somebody must be telling on me, and I got to move from here. So Boogaloo, which is known as Gangster Lou, his mother had an after-hour spot on 145th Street between Lenox and 7th Avenue called the Green Door, but it was closed. She haven't been opening it for a couple of years. So I said to her, Mom, let me get that spot. I give you $700 a week for it. So she said, okay. I got the spot. I started telling all the customers, this is where I'm going to be at, this is where I'm going to be at, this is where I'm going to be at. That joint started making $50,000 a week, bro, overnight. The Green Door. Then after the Green Door was successful, right up the block, this dude was selling, he had a storefront. I said, let me buy this storefront. And I turned it into a game room called the Jukebox. You feel me? Went downtown, bought some games and shit, Tron, all the games that was hot at that time, Pac-Man. Paid for them up front so I could have the locks to the game so we could stash the drugs inside the machines of the game. You feel me? And they were still selling in the Green Door, but you come out of the Green Door. After you sell a pack, you come, put your money in the machine, take another pack, you go back to the Green Door. And that's how that begun, that operation begun. So I had the Hill and the Jukebox at that time when Rich came home.
Right. So Rich comes home from prison.
Yes, sir.
And you two link up, and he's ready to jump right back in the drug game.
Of course. Of course. When Rich come home, I know he need a car. So we get that out the way first. He wanted the Saab. He wanted the Saab 9000. I give him money, he buy the Saab 9000. And I give him a whole bird. And Rich know what he doing. He took off running. He back involved.
Okay, so you're rocking with Rich. And does Alpo come in the picture right about now?
Alpo is in the picture when Rich is in prison.
Aha.
This is what happened. Let me share what I know, how I met Alpo. They used to play basketball on 139th Street in Lenox. It's a park over there. Used to have the game, something like the Rucker. They used to play game ball over there. I'm driving through that block from Lenox to 7th. I see a motorcycle following behind me. I make the right on 145th, make the left, pull in front of the jukebox. The dude get off the bike, he's behind me. I get out the car, he get off the bike, he greet me, say, yo, I'm Alpo. I said, what's good, bro? He said, yo, I used to work with Rich, man, before, he got locked up, man. I'm just trying to see if me and you could get together and continue my business. I said, yo, I think I've seen you with Rich before. I said, listen, man, Rich gonna call me. He called me every morning. When he called me, I asked him what's good, and if he say, let's go, no problem, we can make something happen, bro. Rich called me the next day. I said, yo, man, the dude named Al. He said, yeah, it's my man. Look out for him. And then he said, okay, cool. I looked out for him, and that's how we got connected, bro.
Aha. So you're actually working with Alpo while Rich is still in prison.
Yeah, I'm giving him work, and he's like giving him an eighth of coke, and he taking it to the east side, and he doing what he do.
Yeah.
Always paid me on time, never fucked up my money. He was a real dude, at that point.
Yeah. Well, Alpo started selling drugs at 13 years old in East Harlem.
Okay.
So by the time you guys link up, he had already been doing it for a while. So he's already seasoned, in the drug game. Now, then Rich comes home, and do the three of you start to kind of gel up?
Like I said, Rich come home. I put him back in position. We all cool. He know Rich, and we rocking, but Alpo working with me. Now, what happened was some cats robbed the jukebox, right? Police started rolling in the jukebox heavy. Asking questions. It became really hot. to the point where I called my crew. I'm like, listen, bro, I don't want no more parts of the jukebox. I felt this shit is on fire. This shit about to end. I'm going to open up this other spot on 134th between 7th and Lenox. Good dope seller self. Wherever I put my work at, they was coming, bro. I ain't had no problems with that, right? So everybody was like, I'm coming with you. Hey, everybody that was, that I, what I mean, said, I'm coming with you. Hey, I said, all right, Alpo, let me get that joint. Let me have it. Fuck that. So Alpo took it, and he hired some dudes from around the way to work it. Just Fat J and I forgot the name of the other brothers, but they was running it. It was still making a lot of money. I just didn't want it because I felt it was on fire. And I got up out of there, and I opened up that spot. My man Black Yogi, he showed me a spot on between 5th and Lenox, 130th between 5th and Lenox. We took that. That became an overnight success. And then after that, my man Sherm, he had a store on 132nd between 7th and Lenox, more close to 7th, called the First Base. It was a candy store. I said, Sherm, let me get that, man. I gave him some money for it, but I said, I'm going to let you work it, though, but I'm going to put some work in here. And that became an overnight success. That became like headquarters, the location 132.
Well, Alpo talked about how the two of you really started to meet and so forth. And he said there was a situation in the beginning where I guess someone had tried to shoot at you and rob you. And Alpo basically, when he heard the story, he went and got some guns and ended up shooting at the guys that tried to rob you. And he said that after that, y'all became kind of cool because he was doing some of the dirty work for you.
This is what happened in that situation. It was this guy that we had an encounter before over, which I say my baby mother, Patricia, right? We had a little beef. Well, we squashed it. It's like maybe 6 months before this incident happened. And a friend of mine, one of my workers named Cato, in the building we had on 134th Street, we had the second floor apartment, but downstairs was a weed spot. So the same cat, he was buying weed in the weed spot. And Cato and him had words, like bumped into each other. You bitch ass nigga, I murder you. Cato was a wild boy. So they had words. I don't know if dude took that as, you feel me, like this nigga still want beef. So that later on that day, we standing on the block, on the corner. These three dudes just roll up and start firing on us. Blah, blah, blah. I'm lucky, bro. I'm standing, they got me right there, like bang, 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 bang. But the bullets don't hit me. So I'm like, damn, bro. I don't know Cato did this yet. I'm not sure what took place. So I said, yo, dog, we gotta handle it. So Pope, I tell him what happened. Niggas go get guns. We go on their block. He wasn't by himself. We was all there. Niggas was shooting at him. It jumped off. And that's what happened with that. Nobody got murdered. Nobody got hurt. The next day, dude brother came and hollered at me. We talked. We explained the situation to each other, how I jumped off. He let me know what happened. And we squashed it the next day. He didn't know that, he thought that, and we fixed that, and that went away. But yeah, that's what happened with that situation. He definitely went and got his guns, and he definitely came back ready blazing and all that, but he wasn't alone. It was a few dudes with us just as well. Yes.
Well, there's another situation that Alpo handled with a guy named Travis.
Yes, sir.
So according to Alpo, in an interview that he did, he said that Travis was working for you, but at one point he started stealing. And Alpo caught Travis and tried to kill him. He actually beat him down and put like a rope around his neck and tried to throw him out the window and hang him.
I ain't gonna say put a rope. What happened was, it's like, the spot on 134th Street, Travis was in there working. So I would pop up sometime and check on dudes, look at the work and make sure it's my work that's being sold. This time I pop up, me and Alpo popped up, like, oh, who shit is this? Oh, police went crazy. Started beating him up. Motherfucker. Travis trying to get out of there. Then he damn near threw him out the window. It was a second floor window. Travis got up out of there and ran. That's what happened that day, bro. It wasn't no rope and trying to kill him. Man, I'm not going to go that far, but yeah, he handled that like that, bro.
Well,
rest in peace to Travis, man. All these dudes was good dudes, and when I think about it, it's all sad at the end of the day.
Well, there is yet another situation that Alpo talked about where I guess there were some stick-up kids that were robbing your spot. Alpo found out who did it, snatched up one of the guys in a van, and found out who the rest of the guys were, and ended up killing some of them.
I don't believe that to be true, bro. I don't think Alpo killed nobody for me at that point. Like, nah, that's what happened. So, like I said, someone robbed the spot. I spoke on this a minute ago. Someone robbed the spot. Police was coming. It was, and the dudes that robbed the spot, to my knowledge, they was trying to rob a bar on 145th Street and 8th Avenue. Was a bar on the corner right there. And they wind up getting killed in that situation. I don't know who killed them. I don't know if Alpo taking that as, I handled that, but I don't think he had nothing to do with that. But those dudes wind up getting killed for that.
So the situation over those kids getting killed, over the whole, robbing the bar and everything, Alpo taking credit for it.
Oh yeah. I don't think he did that, bro. It's like I was saying, it was another guy. He wound up getting shot up on the hill, named G-Man, by another cat, an older dude that used to work with me, named Chico. And Chico said he did that. I caught that motherfucker, and I shot him, but he didn't die and shit. But Chico was another wild boy. And that he loved me and shit. When he heard that happen, when he seen him, he just did that on GP, but he didn't kill him and shit. Facts.
Okay, so regardless of who Alpo was killing around that time, he is very violent.
Yes. People feared Alpo. They feared him because they know he would do what he got to do to protect his money. He ain't gonna let nobody fuck up his shit. You understand? So definitely, bro.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And and he talked about, when he first met you, he was like, okay, this AZ dude is who I'm rocking with, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to make sure that he's good, because that'll make sure that I'm good and our operation is good, and he's just willing to go all out.
Yes, sir. Facts.
Okay. I mean, outside these situations that we talked about, what were some of the other violent things that you had seen or heard about Alpo doing during this time?
Alpo smacked people. He would sleep with niggas' girls and let it be known, tell them and shit. He was doing a lot of crazy shit, man. Like, niggas, I think one time someone stole somebody's watch, Big Dave watch, stripped the dude, they found the watch, maybe smacked him up, beat the shit out of him. I remember one time we was downtown, steakhouse, and somebody had us double parked in. And, dude, Poe said, let him, wait, man. Poe just knocked him out, and it was a garbage truck there. He picked him up and threw him in the garbage truck. And shit like, he used to just do shit, wild shit all the time, bro. Alpo was the type of dude doing his wheelies. He would kick the police car. Be on the side of the police, kick the police car so they could chase him. This is what he loved it, that attention, bro. You feel me? He loved it, that shit, bro. He just loved it. Wherever he go, he gotta let it be known Alpo's here. Alpo's in the building. That's what type of dude he was to me, bro.
Yeah, but during this whole time, you're running an illegal drug operation.
Yes,
and
sir.
you're trying to stay below the radar. And here you got this psychopath, essentially, who's beating people up, allegedly shooting people, kicking cop cars, fucking,
A wild
people's
boy.
girls.
Yes,
I
sir.
mean, like the whole scene in Paid in Full where he was playing like the porno and everything. Did that actually happen? Was he recording himself?
I don't know where I never really been in the rooftop like that to see where they would even have something like that on the stream. I don't think that happened, but I know one time we had a movie camera, and he might have filmed someone, but I don't think he would show it on a big screen. If he showed it to them, they was maybe looking at it through the camera inside of the rooftop, not on a big screen like that, bro. He might have did that.
Were you concerned, though, at this point that you have this dude who's obviously wild and attracting a ton of attention to something that you don't want anyone to even know about?
All the time, brother. All the time. Yo, fam, why, man? Calm down, relax, bro. Relax. When I'm there, when I'm around, he never do none of that crazy shit, though. Never, bro. It was like he listened to me. He listened to me for real. Yo, calm down. All right. Hey, you're right. He would listen to me. Now, when I leave, turn it up, I guess. But when I'm there, calm down, bro. Relax, man. You feel me? So I used to always be the one that got to put the fire out that he starts. Niggas want to be beefing, Niggas come, yo, your man, yo, calm, yo, Po, you gotta chill, man. You right. But I'm not there all the time, bro. I'm not there all the time.
At this point, did the two of you ever bump heads, get into arguments, or almost things start escalating and so forth?
Nah, he never, I'm keeping it 100. This is real talk. The man never violated me, bro. He listened. He followed instructions. He was making money. Paid me on time. He never not paid me. Let me share this. Let me share this, bro. I gave him the jukebox, which was a business that was at least making about $70,000 to $80,000 a week, right? I gave this to this man. I gave him an apartment in Lenox Terrace, in which we used to stash the drugs at. A safe was there. A lot of money was in the safe. And I used to keep working the safe. I gave him the combination to the safe. So you don't have to always be looking for me. Just go there and do what you do. Everything was always on point. Money was correct. Everything was, when I went to go get it, it was on point. You feel me? So my thing was, let's take care of the business right. But calm down with all that wild shit. It was no reason to me. It was no reason for you to have to be acting crazy, bro. You get money, fall back. But he loved that shit, bro. He loved it. He loved it, I guess, bro.
Okay. And by this time, you guys were really rolling in money. From what I understand, you had 40 cars?
A total, not all at once, but totally about 50, 60 cars, totally.
Wow.
Totally. Buying cars every I say every month or every 2 months, bro. And it was easy to do that the way the formula I had set up. To me, I was just buying a car for free. If you understand what I'm saying. If I got 10 birds, 10 kilos on the table, and I take 2 kilos, which is 2,000 grams of cut, and mix it in with the 10,000 grams, that money, that's like a free $80,000. And those kilos is going within a month's time. So I could buy, that's just like free money. It's not costing me nothing to buy a car, really. You understand what I'm saying? And that's how I was doing it, bro. I ain't just buy cars for me. I bought girls' cars. I bought my people. I bought Lou a car, Stan a car, Pat a few cars. It was nothing, bro. It was free. And if everybody would have followed my lead, Like, follow how, just stay with us, bro. You don't go out of town. You don't need no work from nobody else. I got this. If everybody followed my lead, nobody would have had to bleed, bro. And I say that from the heart, bro.
Right. And it's not just you. It's all three of y'all are really balling. From what I understand, Rich Porter never wore the same outfit twice.
Exactly.
Exactly. Alpo had cars. All y'all had the truck jewels. All y'all had the Dapper Dan outfits.
We made Dapper Dan.
Yeah.
We set the trends. All the rappers followed that trend, but Alpo was like Dapper Dan's mannequin. Whatever, they saw him do, they wanted it. You feel me? And that's how that went, bro.
Okay. Now, at one point, Alpo started to actually go out to DC.
Yes, sir.
You weren't really down for that, though. That was his thing.
Let me put it like this. After I got shot, 87, the police, the detectives, they told me my whole operation. I don't know how they knew it, but they told me, listen, we know your man got this, you got the house in Jersey, you got this car, that car. We not here for that. We just want to know who shot you, bro. But when they told me this, I was like, wow, it's time for me to, surrender. I had a good lawyer. He gave me advice on what to do. He said, listen, they coming for you, bro. They coming for you. At that time, my lawyer, he was handling a case for some other people from Harlem. I'm not going to say their names. But he played the tape of their phone. Their phone was being tapped. And the wire tap, he played the tape for me to hear how the feds operate. The night that I got shot, they was calling each other, like the dudes that they was investigating. Yo, you heard what happened to AZ? Yo, you heard what happened, man? They was calling, back to back on the tape. One of them called the girl, was like, yo, you heard what happened? She was like, who's AZ? You know them niggas getting money on her 36, them young niggas getting money. This is on the tape. So he stopped the tape. He said, the reason why I played this tape for you, I want you to hear what the feds hear. Now your name is on their radar. You're going to be next. I advise you to give them what they want, but I'm going to have them grant you immunity. So no case, nothing probably from this date on can be held against you in no court of law. And I rolled with it, bro. And I rolled with it to the point where I got to back off now. I tell Rich and them what's happening. I tell them about the tape and all that. But one monkey don't stop no show. Too much money coming in, nigga. And the band played on. They keep it going. Rich get with Fritz. Alpo going out of town. And them niggas bringing duffel bags of money in, bro. They making more money than we was making now because they into the crack, whatever. Fritz giving them boxes. Rich give, you know what I mean? And that's how I saw it, bro. When I came back, on the streets after being out the loop for about 2 months.
Well, I interviewed Kevin Childs.
Yes, sir.
Around that time, did you guys have a relationship at all?
I didn't know that dude. I met him through Jesus, Spanish guy named Jesus, I believe. Jesus came to me and said, yo, let's go play some ball with these dudes. I heard of him, but I didn't know him. You understand? We played a game of ball. We played 2 games for like 5,000, whatever we played for. I think we won the first game. And I think we played the second game, but the bullshit started jumping off, arguments. And I said, man, I don't even want to play no more. I got in my car and left. I ain't give a fuck about the money, whatever. Just left. That was the only time, to my knowledge, that I was in his presence. I didn't know him.
Okay,
You feel me?
got it. Okay, and we're gonna come back to this topic a little bit later.
Yes, sir.
But I just wanted to kind of set that up. Okay, so and you touched on this, and I just want to get into a little bit more detail on it. So in 1987, you were coming back to one of your spots, and then that's when the insanity popped off with the whole attempted murder, robbery, and so forth.
Yes, sir.
So take me through the steps as you're walking up to that door.
The night that happened, we was playing ball on the east side. I swear I hate talking about this shit, man, but I feel this is going to be my last interview talking about these stories. I'm never going to talk about this shit again. I swear to God. If I do, someone blow my fucking brains out. I'm tired of this shit. But that night, we was playing ball on the east side. After we finished playing ball, I walked 128th in what was it? 128th in Lexington. We finished playing ball, came back to the location 132. The block is crowded, mad customers, fiends all over the place. Nobody got no work on the block. I used to leave the shit up in the Bronx in the stash at my aunt's house, which her name is Joanne Blue. So I called up there to see if she was home because I was going to send someone up there to get some work. She wasn't there. As I got off the phone, corner phone, she pulled up. I said, damn, I was just calling you. She said, yeah, I'm on my way home now. I should be there in the next 20 minutes. I said, I'll be there right behind you, right? This girl walk up on me. She like, I was looking for you all day. Where you been at? I was like, I was playing ball. She was like, what's good? I want to hang out. I said, listen, I got to go take care of something. I'll be right back. And she was like, nah, fuck that, blah, blah, blah. I want to come. I'm hanging with you. You ain't going nowhere. Blah, blah, blah. Like if she wanted to go, do what we do. And I said, all right. So I had my car. I said, you know what? I'm going to get in a cab. Parked the car. Left the car there. Got in the cab. My man Charlie, I told my man Charlie to come with me. He got in the cab with me, Charlie, and the girl got in the cab. And we went to the Bronx, 169th in the Grand Concourse. When we get there, I see my aunt's car double parked outside, so I know she's there. I had to call up to the window. She would throw the key out the window so I could get in the building. I called up to the window. She don't come to the window. But then when she did say something, she would usually look out and drop the key down. She was like, what? I said, I need the key. I didn't even see her face. So the key came flying out of the window. When the key came flying out the window, I'm like, damn, something ain't right. This is not how she usually do this. The girl was like, I gotta use the bathroom. She like, I gotta use the bathroom. And my man Charlie, yo, come on, man, let's go upstairs. But in my thoughts, like, yo, let me go use the phone, man, make sure everything all right. They pressing me like, come on, it's good, it's all good. You got the key. I said, fuck it. But if I follow my first thoughts and call up there, maybe it don't happen. So we go in the building, get on the elevator, get off on the third floor. As soon as we get off the elevator, some dudes come off the steps. The door that we go into, the door come wide open. They push us into the apartment. Guns drawn, masses on their face. She had a sunken living room. They pushed me down the steps. They took Charlie, my man Charlie, and the girl in the back room somewhere. So they got me on the floor next to the safe I had in there. Open up the safe, motherfucker. Open up the safe. Mask on his face, but I recognized the voice. It's my sister's boyfriend. Yo, Kev, what you doing? That's his name, Kev. You did me wrong, motherfucker. This is what he's saying to me. You did me wrong. Fuck that. Open up the safe. I'm trying to open up the safe because I'm kind of nervous at the time. You know you got to be precise when you opening up the safe. So it's taking me a while to open up the safe. He hit me with the gun, blood pouring down my face. Open up the safe, open up the safe, open up the safe. So now we couldn't get the safe open. He tell his man, yo, take him in the room, murder him. So dude take me in the room, put the pillow over my head, put the gun to my head, and I start talking like, listen, fam, it ain't no money in the safe, bro. Ain't nothing in this apartment, bro. I got about $250,000 at the house in Jersey. Y'all take me there, I'll give it to you. Just let everybody go, bro. So he listened. He go tell the dude, Kev, like, listen, he said he ain't no money in here. He got about $250 at the house. Let's go get that. So all three of them huddle, okay, cool. So it's blood all over me and a white t-shirt on. We can't take him out of here like that. Go in the bathroom. Matter of fact, he pulled me, come in the bathroom. You know, washing my face off by the sink. Take the t-shirt off of me. They say, you got clothes in here? I was like, nah. One of his mans had on like 2 shirts, took off his shirt. Here, put this on. So I put the shirt on. Kev, my aunt started yelling from the room. She called me Junior. You feel me? That's, you know, everybody in my family called me Junior. Junior, don't go with them. Just give them what they want. Just give them everything. Just don't. She panicked, like, you know, yelling and screaming and shit. Leave us alone, yelling. So Kev tell the other 2 dudes, yo, shut that bitch up. Turn the radio on real loud. I hear gunshots. I panic now. I'm in the bathroom, and Kev watching me with the gun. I start tussling with him, trying to get up out of there, and I almost had to do it. Almost had the gun. His man come out the room and put the gun to my forehead, and I watched him pull the trigger. And my spirit left the body, bro. That's how that happened, bro.
Well, number one, how much money was in that safe?
In that safe, at that time, it wasn't really nothing in there at that time. I was like at the end of the package that I had there. It might have been like, maybe like an eighth of Coke. It may be like about no more than $15,000 to $20,000 in that safe, bro. At that time.
Okay, but had you opened the safe and just gave them what they wanted, regardless of what it was, they might have said, all right, cool, that's enough for us. We're out of here.
I could not open the safe to save my life, bro.
Okay, so you weren't just trying to, it wasn't a money thing.
Come on, yo, if I could open that shit here, man, look, take it.
Yeah.
You feel me? What the fuck? I don't care about that, bro. But I couldn't open it to save my life at that time. Under circumstance, I don't know what it was, bro.
Yeah. Well, you were shot 7 times.
9 times.
9 times.
Twice in the head, 1 in the neck, 1 in the shoulder, 1 in the hand, and the rest of the shots was in the leg that broke my leg in 3 different spots.
Okay. But not only were you shot, but everyone else in the room was shot as well.
Shot, and they stabbed the girl like 4 or 5 times, and she was shot, also in the head. They left 6 people for dead that night. And the only thing they got from me is the money I had in my pocket was about $5,000, and I had a chain on my neck, I believe, that cost maybe like $17,000.
And 3 people were killed in that
3
room?
3 people died, 3 people lived. Myself, the girl lived, and my aunt's friend named Michael Lamar, he lived.
Now, in the movie, it shows Alpo, killing the main guy,
Not true.
that set
Not
up the
true.
robbery. But
Not
that didn't happen.
at all. No.
Yeah.
They did
Because
that.
the police...
They did that
Well,
for whatever reason.
No, okay, so sorry, go ahead.
They did that for whatever reason in the movie, but it did not happen.
Right. Because ultimately, the police figured out who did it, and you actually cooperated with that investigation.
They didn't figure out who did it. The night that they rolled me into the hospital. They rolled me in the hospital. 3 detectives, I believe, or and the district attorney. Now that I found out, they rolled in the hospital. I'm in the wherever they had me at, recovery, wherever they had me at. They came in there. The doctors was trying to trying to save my life. They came in there, and they was like, "That we need to speak to him, and we need 5 minutes with him." The doctor said, "I don't think he have 5 minutes." Well, we're going to need those 5 minutes. The doctor left. Like I said before, I think we discussed this the last time.
Yeah.
And they came in. They was like, "You're dying, right? There's no chance for your recovery, right?" I can't hardly speak. I'm shaking my head, I guess, at the time. They took a tape recorder out. They put the tape recorder on my chest. "We need to ask you a few questions. Was you present in the Bronx, whatever, 1295 Grand Concourse?" I must have shook my head, yes. It was 6 people shot and they're all dead. You're the only one living. This is what they tell me. And we want to be able to catch these guys. You're the only one left. I must be shaking my head because I'm not talking. Then they asked me, "Could you speak?" Then I said, "Yes." They showed me a pen. They said, "Do you know what this is?" I said, "A pencil, I guess, to see if I was like." They asked me, "Who's the president?" I said, "I think Ronald Reagan." They said, "Okay, cool. Do you know who shot you?" I said, "My sister's boyfriend." "Do you know his name?" "Yes, Kevin." "Do you have a last name?" I don't think I even knew his last name at that time. "Did he act alone?" "No, he had 2 others with him." Okay. "Do you know what kind of gun he used?" "I don't know." "I think one had a Uzi," I said. 38. I didn't know. I don't know. I didn't know what kind of guns they had. Didn't give a fuck. I'm really trying to answer the questions quick so they could leave so the doctors could save my life. I think I started going out, fading out around that time because I felt them, they touched my pulse and they said, "Come on, let's go." They took the tape recorder. I think my spirit left my body again because I must have been dead for that second because they was like, put the sheets over me, gone. They left out. Soon as they left out, the doctors rushed in there, started doing what they wanted to do, smacking me like, "You alert?" And I think I shook my head, yes. And the next thing you know, I woke up, I was in the recovery room the next day or whatever. That's what happened, bro.
Why exactly did Kevin do that robbery? When he said, "You did me wrong," what exactly did you do to him to make him think that?
I don't have a clue why he would say that, because when he came home from prison, I gave him a Saab convertible. I gave him $15,000 cash, and I gave him a block that was doing at least a bird a week through this guy named Twin. Work with Twin. He got you. You ain't got to do nothing, bro. You good. Now, for him to do this, for him to say that, there's only one thing that come to my mind that maybe make him feel this way. And it was an incident where he wanted me to give, before he got locked up, he had wanted me to give some drugs to Rich. And I didn't. I gave it back to my sister, and I told him to give it back to him because I felt that dude was crazy, because the situation at that time, he was running from somebody. He was running from the streets because he had did something to an old man. And he called me down to a hotel. He wanted, I'm young, I'm working in the cleans at this time. I'm not even in the game. But he knew Rich was my people, and he knew Rich was in the game. And he had, I think he robbed somebody, I think he killed somebody for a kilo or whatever, cocaine or whatever. And he wanted me to give half a kilo to Rich. And I gave it back to my sister to give to him. Like, tell him I'm not doing that, because the way he approached me, when I went to the hotel, it was a nervous situation. In other words, when I went to the hotel to meet him, he pulled a gun out on me. He was high, smoking crack and shit. He high as fuck. Pulled a gun out and searching me, panicking like, the contract on me, man. I don't know. He said, I'm sorry and shit. After he searched me and found out, and I'm nervous. I'm, like, what the fuck? Fuck, my sister got me into this bullshit for. So he wanted to give me the half a joint. I'm not going to tell him no in front of him in that moment. Okay, I'll take it to Rich. I'll give it to him, no problem. But as soon as I got uptown, I gave it back to my sister. Yo, get that shit back to him. I'm not fucking with dude, and you're crazy for fucking with that nigga, man. That nigga's out of his fucking mind. So that's the only thing I could see that him felt for him to say that. But still, when you come home, you see the position I'm in, bro. You see how I'm rolling. I got this thing on smash. Let's go. But you know how jail is. In prison, I guess you make, it's a whole new family you in there with. So your dudes, y'all may be planning this shit before y'all get out. When we get out, we gonna get that nigga. So you can't renege, even though he take care of you. He ain't taking care of us. But maybe you could renegotiate with them. Like, look, bro, on top of the world, bro. Let's get with this nigga instead of getting at this nigga.
Yeah.
You understand? If they really use their minds and really see what I was doing in Harlem, they was from the Bronx. Take that shit to the Bronx and let's do it like that. It would have been no problem for me setting them up like that. But no, instead of jumping in front of the gun for me, you pull a gun on me, bro.
Well, ultimately, the guys get caught. You end up taking the stand in the trial?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And
yes,
then
sir.
the surviving people in the room also take the stand, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I remember reading about this case. The guys who did it, didn't they get like 150 years or something like that?
125 years to life.
There you go.
125 years to life. But this is what happened, bro, in that situation. They wind up catching Kev, I think in Philly somewhere. He told the police, because I didn't know the other two dudes at all. He told the police he was there, but he did not do no shooting. So they asked him, well, who did do the shooting? And he told on the other two dudes. You understand? He told who did it.
Yeah.
So they wind up catching them two dudes. Now the trial begins. He want to take back his plea. You feel me? So now he want to take the stand to defend himself in that situation. This is how they lost the case, bro. To my knowledge. He had an alibi. His girl, he said he was home with his girl, and it was cold that day. He'll never forget. He remembered that night his girl came in there, put the covers over him, blah, 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 blah. This is what he said. But the district attorney had the paper for that day, August 20th, 1987, showed it to the jury, to the judge, and he asked him, could he use this to show the jury, to show them the weather for that day, 107 degrees.
Yeah.
It don't make sense what you're saying, bro. He had his wife that was going to take the stand for him. She get on it, not my sister. He was messing with some other woman now. It supposed to have been his wife. She was taking a stand for him. And as she was taking the stand, the district attorney told the judge, let her know that she could be brought up on perjury, whatever they call that shit, if she's found lying. So the judge informed her that. They approached the bench because she said, hold up. And she said she didn't want to take the stand. So the jury see this. There's no way they getting out of that situation, bro.
What was it like being in that courtroom with the guys that tried their best to murder you, that really, not only shot you 9 times, but killed people around you and maimed and seriously injured everyone else?
I didn't know the other 2 dudes like that, but it was more so like him. It was unbelievable, bro. It was unbelievable because why? Why, bro? I don't understand why anybody have to die, get murdered, or have their life taken, bro, for drugs, for money. I never could understand that, bro. Even me being a boss in the game, I never sent out an order to murder nobody or kill anybody or any of that bullshit, bro. If a nigga fucked up my work, fuck it, I ain't fucking with you no more. I'm not gonna put a hit on you and murder you. I don't need that shit on my conscience. I'm not that type of dude, bro. So I never understand, why would someone kill somebody for drugs or for whatever, fucking with your girl, just to take somebody's life. That shit is like crazy to me, bro. And for y'all to do this to 6 people one night, that you don't even know these people, it's like, who the fuck are you? You gotta be some type of demon or something, bro. You gotta be, bro. So that's how I'm looking at that, bro.
Okay, so this whole insanity happens.
Yes, sir.
And, in the movie, there's sort of this famous scene that I think is probably the most famous scene in the whole, movie in terms of memes and so forth, where you're sitting there, your character, Wood Harris, is sitting there all bandaged up. And, Alpo's character, played by Cameron, was like, dudes get shot every day, B. You be all right. Did something like that actually happen? Did Alpo come over and Rich come over and talk to you afterwards?
True story. After I got shot, I'm in the hospital. The case was so big and so serious that they had police protection by my door all the time I was in the hospital, in Lincoln Hospital. And if you wanted to come visit me, you had to go to the precinct, get your picture taken and your fingerprints before you could come visit me in the hospital. For whatever reason, I don't know. Alpo didn't come. Rich didn't come. And I understand why. You understand? But Lulu came. This was the connect. He came. And when he saw me in the hospital, he going crazy and shit. Like, I would kill these motherfuckers. Like, Lulu, calm down. Police is outside the door. So I started, yo, calling the cops so he could get up out of there, because I didn't want what he was saying, whatever, get him up out of here because he's talking crazy right now. So they took him out. But after I got out of the hospital, I'm at my mom's house. Rich came to see me. And it was like, yo, you all right? Yo, blah, 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 blah. We talked. I think I had a couple of cars in the garage. He said, yo, I'm a hold of 735 until you get back. All right, no problem. I ain't give a fuck. Take the car, bro. And Lulu came to see me. And he looked out real heavy for me. He told me what he was going to do and how he was moving. And he wound up getting killed in that process. And yeah, when I came out, it's like Rich and Alpo, they rocking and rolling, bro. Nobody came, that never happened. That never happened. Nobody got killed behind it. None of that happened, bro.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, when I was in the hospital, I heard like they wanted to go do something to the dude, mother, family. But I'm like, yo, listen, these police know everything. Don't do nothing, bro. Fall back and let the universe deal with this, bro.
Okay. So you get shot up really badly. Lulu gets killed.
Yes, sir.
And then Rich Porter's 12-year-old little brother gets kidnapped.
Yes, sir.
So it's just one horrible event after another.
That happened, like it happened to me in 87. And I think that happened to Donnell Porter, may his soul rest in peace. Happened in 89. So it's like 2 years apart.
Rich Porter's little brother gets kidnapped by Rich's uncle as well as Preacher. Now, Preacher's crew were really infamous for robbing drug dealers during that time. The guy named Clarence Preacher Heatley. His nickname was the Black Hand of Death. He pled out to 13 murders. And the one thing that they're known for is that not only would they kill people, but they would actually torture them and chop their bodies up.
Yes, sir.
There's even a rumor that he kidnapped Bobby Brown, although we're not sure if that's true or not.
Yeah, I heard about that, but I don't know if it's true or not.
Okay. Did you know who Preacher was?
I knew Preacher. When I was young, like when I was, my sister, like I told you, my sister was messing with dudes that was in the streets. And it was a cat named Cornell that was her boyfriend, my other sister, not the one that was messing with Kevin. And he was cool with Preacher. And I met him through him back then. This is when, he called me Junior. I wasn't even in the game. I met him through him then. But the dude Cornell wound up going to jail, and, I didn't, hang with Preacher, but I met him when I was a kid back then. So I knew who he was. You feel me? But I didn't know him like to be with, all these things that people saying, but I heard about it, and, you know what I mean? And it was real, what they were saying about him. But to my knowledge, for what I hear, the uncle set that situation up. Preacher didn't have a clue of that, but when he learned about it, you feel me, he was kind of upset. This is what I hear with them, but they had to play it out because it was already involved. But I hear that Preacher didn't co-sign that. He didn't respect that. This is what I heard. You feel me? That was some foul shit on the uncle's behalf, personally. And I believe that Rich should have never let the uncle see that much in the first place, because I always felt like the uncle was that type of dude anyway. You know what I mean?
Right. So his little 12-year-old brother, Donnell Porter, got kidnapped. They wanted $500,000.
$500,000.
And to show that they were serious, they actually cut off the little brother's finger and sent it to him.
Yeah, they cut off the finger, put it in a coffee can, and send it to McDonald's. Rich sends someone over there to get the can. And in the can is his finger. I think he had a ring that said Donnell, and a tape with him pleading for his life, bro. One of the saddest things you could ever hear in your life, bro.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of tearing up right now, actually hearing it. Like, I didn't know about the tape with him pleading for his life.
Yes, sir.
Wow. Okay. And ultimately, they ended up, not paying the money, and they ended up killing his little brother.
Yes. What happened in that situation, the uncle was there on the set all the time, like right there. So he's knowing what's going on, even though he's orchestrating the whole situation and shit. And when the tape came in the finger, when they heard the tape in the finger, Pat, Rich's sister, she grabbed the can, the tape, the finger, and she took off running to the precinct, bro. The uncle was trying to stop her, but fuck that. She took off running to the precinct, and that's how the police got involved. The uncle was trying to prevent it, if you understand what I'm saying. So
yeah, because he's in on it.
You understand what I'm saying? So now,
yeah,
I guess the table's turned now because the police is involved. But now if they don't come to the house, they fall back because there's a situation where they got to send the feds in, to tap the phone to see if they call back and blah, 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 and that never happened. So the uncle's still there. Now, in the midst of that, Fritz come through for Rich, and he give Rich 30 kilos. Get your brother back, man. He give it to him. This is how real Fritz play. He ain't worrying about the money. Take this, get your brother back, bro. The uncle sees this. He hears this. He knows this. So now the uncle, I guess, say, you know what? He comes to Rich with a letter. Yo, the letter reads, we still want the money. The little boy's all right. Come to this phone, I think on 207th and somewhere up in the Dykeman area. Be at this phone booth at such and such time. We're going to call you and tell you what to do. Rich take the letter and give it to the feds. So they say, okay, we need you to go to the phone booth at this time. Rich don't want to go. To my knowledge, I believe this is what Pat told me, that she dressed like a boy and they took her up to the phone. But the uncle there, seeing all this, the phone never rings. The phone never rings.
Right. And they ultimately find the little boy's body.
Pause. Rich got the 30 keys now. He calls on Alpo. Get rid of these for me, bro. Alpo moving out of town. Feds all over New York. Rich we can't move right now. Nobody can do nothing. He give him the Alpo to take out of town. Alpo kills Rich. Now,
right.
Now, the kidnappers, Alpo killed Rich, placed them up in Orchard Beach, right? My city island. The kidnappers, I guess, it's just me thinking for them. Damn. They killed Rich. We fucked up now. We got to kill a little boy and place him in the same area where they find Rich. In their mind, if they find who killed Rich, they're going to say he killed the little boy too. This is maybe their way of thinking they're going to get off. You understand?
Yeah.
But, Alpo commits to killing Rich. Preacher wind up getting locked up, and he tells on his whole crew, according to what I hear. And they admit to doing that to Donnell.
Okay, so let's talk about the Alpo and Rich Porter situation. So I listened to an interview that Alpo did about this because ultimately Alpo pleaded out to this murder.
Yes,
so
sir.
according to Alpo,
This
he
interview
met
worth
up with.
zillions, man. Billions of dollars. But it's never about the money with me, man. I'm not, let me say this, I'm not trying to capitalize off of nobody's death, bro. I'm just trying to clear the air so people could really understand what happened to us, bro.
Okay, so Rich has these 30 kilos, and Alpo goes and meets up with Rich. And from what Alpo said, he's in a van, and Rich gets into the van. And in the van is Alpo's little man, Big Head Gary.
Yes, sir.
Did you know Big Head Gary?
Never seen him before in my life, never met him.
Okay.
But that night I did. We'll continue though.
Okay.
We'll
so
get to
they
that
get in the
point.
van. They get in the van, and Alpo's talking to Rich. And according to Alpo, he's asking him questions about some kilos and some money, and he claims that Rich is lying to him.
Yes.
Now, based on him feeling that Rich is lying to him, he motions to his man to kill Rich. Big Head Gary pulls out a gun, shoots Rich, but I guess Rich doesn't die right away, and I guess like some sort of tussle ends up in the van. That's where Alpo's face gets scratched, and Alpo had to pull out a gun and basically finish Rich off. They go and dump Rich's body in the woods.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and Alpo said that he was mad because he felt like he killed a guy that he loved, and this was his brother, a guy that he got money with, but he felt that it was just business. This is the way he handles his business. If you cross him on the business side, he has to kill you. And that's what he did. Rich was only 24 years old at the time. And I guess on that day, you actually saw Alpo.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so tell me about how you guys met.
That night, I'm always playing basketball and shit. We was playing ball on the east side. My little clique that I used to hang out with. While we was playing ball, being honest, like I said before, I heard a gunshot. The highway is like right over the basketball court. So it sounded like someone got shot. This is what I heard. I don't know if that was the same situation, but I'm like, damn, we all stopped like, damn, bro. Somebody just lost their life. We continue to play ball. Game was over. We tired. We go back to the block, the location, 132nd and 7th Avenue. So we out there. It's like 2 a.m. Right? So we drinking water. We talking shit. A Suzuki Jeep, which was Alpo's sister's Jeep, driving by on the opposite side of the street, heading uptown. We on the downtown side. So I said, damn, it looked like Alpo in that truck. I waved my hand. The Jeep swing a U and pulls in front of us. Alpo gets out with his man. I guess that was Gary. And what's up, eh? What's up? It's my man. It was good. We shake hands. I'm like, damn, what the fuck happened to your face, bro? Scratches on his face. He said, nah, my girl out in D.C., she bugging out. I said, damn, them shits look fresh, man. Yeah. What's up, eh? You seen Rich? Well, you know Rich don't hang out at night, bro. Rich was the type that go in early. Rich be in the house by 9 o'clock. Yeah, you right. This dude named Travis flies by in the car. He's like, oh, that's Travis. Let me go catch this nigga. He owe me some money. He jumps in his car. He's chasing behind Travis. At that time, this girl walked up on me. I was like, what you doing out here? She said, I was looking for you. I said, well, okay, let's hang out. I said, come on, get in. She got in the car. I dap my peoples. Everybody leave. They pull off. Everybody leaves. Everybody going home. I said, I had an apartment in the next terrace. I said, listen, drive down the block, because I let her drive down the block. Let me go upstairs and get a change of clothes real quick before we leave. I get out the car. If I get out the car, Alpo pull up on the opposite side of the street. Yo, hey, come here for a minute. Come here. As he's saying that, my man pull up that was with us on the corner. He get out of his car. Yo, hey, come here. He like, yo, come here real quick, real fast. Hold on, Po. So I go to him first. He said, yo, don't go over there, bro. I seen that nigga laying in the cut. I'm like, what? I don't know what's going on yet. So I said, hold on, Po, I'll be right back. So I go upstairs in the apartment. Let me go get a gun or something. You feel me? I don't know what's up. I don't know what's going on. So I come back downstairs. When I come back downstairs, he's not there. He's not there. My man is not there. The girl is just downstairs. I get in the car with her, and we go to the Bronx. As we in the Bronx, my beeper go off. That's what it was back then. It's my mother calling me. 911. I go to the phone. I call my mother back. She said, you know they just found Pat's brother dead. And I was like, damn, that's fucked up. All right, I'll call you right back, Martin. I just hung up. I didn't even let her finish talking. But in my mind, I'm thinking they found Donnell. So when I called Pat, she pick up, she crying and shit. I'm like, damn, I heard, man. It's fucked up, man. It's fucked up, man. And then she was like, you know who they found? I was like, who? She said, they found Richard, not Donnell, Richard. I was like, oh, shit. Like I said, the phone seemed like the phone dropped out my hand. And I saw Alpo face in my mind, scratched up, and I saw that shit like, oh, this nigga did that shit, bro. I didn't even pick up the phone back. I got in the car with the girl, told her, yo, this go to your house. She said she wanted something to eat. I said, this guy, she drove through White Castle. She got some food. We went to the house. I went upstairs. And she wanted, you know, she don't know. I'm not letting her know what's going on because I'm like, I'm fucked up. Like, this is crazy. It can't be. And I wound up, I think I gave her some money like, yo, here. Let me just lay in the room and just relax and shit. I stayed in the room. I think I fell asleep and I woke up maybe like that afternoon or whatever it was, 1 o'clock. Left her house, got in the car, drove to the block. And when I went to the block was crowded. Everybody on 132nd, like weeping from what everybody has heard about Rich. Block crowded. As I pull up, Alpo pull up. He get out. I heard what happened, crying and shit. And I look at him. He got back in his car and he left, bro.
Well, Alpo actually went to Rich Porter's wake and said that he actually cried at the wake and he regretted what he did. It's pretty crazy though to think that the person who killed someone goes to their actual wake.
I don't recall that, being honest. But I know
he said he went really early because he knew the feds was around and so forth.
So I don't know, but his name was definitely signed, you know, in the book in big letters, Alpo. But I didn't see that, and you know, if he said it, he might have, but I didn't see it, bro. You feel me? He didn't go to the funeral.
Yeah. Well, you know, and this is where the story gets a little fuzzy here, because I believe it was our last interview, where I guess you had said you had met up with Alpo in a restaurant afterwards.
Yes, sir. I didn't meet in a restaurant. Like, we met to meet. I was with a girl downtown, like on Mulberry Street and shit. and we went to this restaurant that she liked to eat at. And as we in the restaurant, matter of fact, it was a Spanish girl, Colombian chick. And she wanted to discuss some business with me, whatever it was. We met down in this restaurant. And while we was in the restaurant, Alpo came in there with a girl. It's like, oh shit. This is, maybe like a month in after that. Yo, hey, come on, let's talk, man. We went outside. And his exact words was like, yo, why Valma, Rich mother, and I'm saying that I did that to Rich? I said that they not the only ones saying that, bro. The whole hood saying that shit, bro. His exact words. Yo, you think if I was to give them 50,000, they'll stop saying that shit? I said, dog, do what you think is best, bro. And I walked back inside the restaurant. He sat down with the girl. I didn't feel comfortable in there. I told Ma, I said, come on, let's get up out of here, man. I see your family. See you later, bro. And we left.
Well, according to Alpo, he said that he told you that he killed Rich Porter.
He never told me anything, bro. He never told me anything. He didn't ever tell me like I killed Rich, but when I decided to write the movie, I said, this shit is crazy. This shit gotta be a movie. And I started to write the movie. I said, before I write it, I'm gonna have to have the rights from this man, from Alpo. He's locked up at this time. So it was a girl that I knew that knew Alpo, that was maybe still in contact with him, that lived in the Polo Grounds. I ran into her. I'm like, listen, man, I know you speak to him. Tell homie I need to talk to him. Take my number, and if he says cool, all right. So she called me. She said, yeah. He said to be here at a certain time, and he's going to call. So I went to her house at that time. He called, and I asked him. The first thing I asked him was why. It's my exact words. Yo, why, fam? Yo, Rich, man, the Connect, he told the same story about the Connect, gave it to him for a certain price, and Rich did this. And I said, bro, you didn't have to kill him, bro. You knew he was going to give you some work again. Why you just take your money? If that was the situation. Nah, you don't understand. I said, listen, we ain't going to talk about that. I'm writing a movie, bro. I'm going to need you to sign the rights over for me to write. I'm not doing it if you don't do it because I'm not that type of person. Oh, no problem, man. No problem, man. Bye, 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 bye. I got you. So I got up a lawyer to write up some papers. I gave it to the girl. She sent it to him. And when it came back, she called me. When I came back and got the papers, the shit was like a big booklet, right? In the booklet, it was the thing that he signed, the contract, and paperwork on Kevin Childs.
Well, and I interviewed Kevin Childs. And, this is like later on, I believe in 1994, when he ends up going to trial on federal drug charges. And he said that you and Alpo were in his discovery paperwork. But he also said that he never sold any drugs with you at all, and neither of you actually took the stand against him. So to this day, he was sort of perplexed why you even showed up in his discovery.
I don't know. And like I say, and I'm going to say it again, bro. We never discussed any business. I never had a conversation with this man, bro, about anything. So if you're looking at it from that point of view, right, the feds is not stupid, bro. The government is not stupid. I'm a boss, bro. If I had no federal contact, bro, if they did come to me, bro, they coming to me for who's giving me drugs, bro. Bottom line, bro. I don't know what he doing. I don't know if the nigga's selling coke, dope, crack. I don't know. I don't know anything about the man, bro. So if they came to me, what do I have to give them about you, bro? Nothing. So when I look at it, I don't know about what discovery mean because I've never been in those situations to be dealing with that type of stuff. But he knows just as well. He knows. He got to know. What can I say? What can I give the police on you, bro? So for you to put that out there, my question is, who you working for right now to say that? To try to stir up some bullshit about me being on your paperwork, bro? To my knowledge, because, you know, I do my little investigation and just to explore what's going on here. To my knowledge, Alpo gave this to me, right? To give to them. I don't know if they're in jail or out of jail at this time. I'm not thinking about these people. You feel me? I'm not in the game in competition or competing. I'm doing me, bro. So Chuck, I know Chuck. I see his name in the paperwork. I see Chuck. So Chuck, I got some information that I think you're gonna need, bro. Alpo sent me this. I give it to Chuck. Chuck reading it right on the spot. Chuck tells me to drive as he reading this shit. Like, oh shit. I said, Chuck, that shit's serious. Y'all going to jail. My exact words. I don't know if homie's in jail or not. I don't know. Not my business. So Chuck say thanks. He take it, right? He go about his business. So now to my knowledge, Kevin Childs, I believe, in his trial, Chuck took the stand, I think, in the case. I think the DA or somebody questioned Chuck, Kev lawyer or somebody, where did you get the paperwork on this case? Chuck say on the stand, I got it from AZ. That's the only way my name could have came up on any paperwork. To me, right. Personally speaking.
Got it. Well, like I said, he said...
Is that working for the government? Alpo gave this to me. I give it to Chuck to try to help. You know, I'm just passing it along, bro. So for you to come and say my name is on your paperwork, for real, and not explain to people the facts. See, the facts to me is this. When I start doing the music shit, mob style, right? I'm trying to get out the game. Go into the rap game. Rich and Poe at this time, like, nigga, you bugging, man. We ain't no rappers, we hustlers. The first song I did, mob style, I gave it to somebody, they played it on the radio. Rich and Poe here, that shit could work. I see that shit's kind of hot, eh? So now they see where I'm coming from. But around that time, that's when Donnell got kidnapped. So everything went left field on the mob style shit for a minute. But I kept going to the studio, putting in work. Now, after I finished the album, Columbia Records, they wanted to sign us. They had a deal on the table, $300,000, guaranteed 2 videos. The album was done. Pretty Tone, he signs with Rick Rubin. He's a part of the group, but he signed with Rick Rubin, I believe. And when it came for us to sign with Columbia, they said they wanted the whole group. So that deal went haywire. I said, fuck it. You know what? I'm going to put it out myself on the streets. I put it out myself. Streets loving it, hood loving it. Leland, Robinson, Sugar Hill, I stepped to him. I'm like, yo, look, fam, we got something here. Yo, let's take this to the next level, Lee. You know, they sold millions of records with Rappers Delight, so I'm figuring they know what time it is. Leland introduced me to a guy named Bernard Thomas. Bernard Thomas said he put Eric B. and Rakim on. So I'm fucking with him. We going to the studio. We doing shit. He's coaching me on what to do. Blah, 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 blah. One day I'm in the studio working on a song called Streetwise. He come in the studio. I'm smoking some weed because I used to smoke just to get into the vibe of the music before I go in the booth or whatever. He said, listen, man, my man just came in town and he need a half a bird. This is what Bernard's saying to me. Now, this man never spoke to me about drugs or nothing, right? But in that moment, I'm like, not right now, bro. Come speak to me to talk to me tomorrow. I'm trying to do this song. He said, all right, man. I got to run. I'll see you tomorrow. The next day come. I pull up on the block. As I pull up, he pull up. He gets out the car. He said, remember I was telling you about your man? My man, he want a half a bird. I said, okay, cool. He said, yo, he want a half a bird. I said, listen, man, I ain't going to do no business with nobody I don't know. I'll do it with you, bro. He said, all right. He goes back to the car. Now the dude get out the car. He comes to my car. He got the money wrapped around his waist. He lift up his shirt. He said, man, I got the money right here, man. I'm good, man. AZ, man. Talking all loud and proper and shit. Talking loud like if you're talking to a mic. His whole outfit just looks like the fucking police. I said, wow, this is the cops, man. So I said, you know what? Give me a minute. I'm going to go get it. I'll be right back. I look through the rear view. I see a van, 2 white boys in it, and back of me, like 2 cars back. I look across the street. I see another van. Whitey's acting like they doing something. I said, oh, shit, this is the police. I pull off. I go to 126th Street, hit the horn for this girl I know to come downstairs. Another one of my baby moms. She comes downstairs. She get in the car. She got on her night clothes and shit. I said, be quiet, just ride with me. I ride to Jersey. We go to a movie theater, bro. We go inside the movie theater. We watch the movie, bro. I'm watching them follow me, bro, all the way to Jersey, bro. I said, we went to the movie theater. I said, don't worry about it. Just come on. We'll drop the off home. So now I'm like, the police is on me. This is the feds. I'm shutting this shit down for real, for real. The next day come, I go to the block. Now I'm telling my dudes, like, listen, bro, they on us. They coming through this music shit. I'm not fucking with mob style no more. And I'm leaving this shit alone. As we in the hallway talking, bro, sitting on the stoop. Dude come back in the building. Money around. What happened, AZ, man? I thought you was coming back, bro. Got the money right here. What we trying to do, bro? As I'm telling them this, I said, yo, that's the nigga right here. I said, who ain't no AZ in here, bro? What you talking about, bro? What you talking about? So we had an apartment in the building. We went upstairs to the apartment. I said, we going to chill up here all day until tomorrow, bro. So it was like 3 of us. We chilled until the next day. We left. I said, I'm done with this shit. They owed me some money. I said, keep that shit. I'm out. A week passed. I got a spot in Long Island, my house. I got a crib in Long Island at that time. I'm staying in. I ain't even come to the hood for about a week. But something told me, go check on the block just to see what's going on. It's about 10, 11 o'clock that night. I pull up on the block. I see Lou on the block, Gangsta Lou. Yo, Lou, what you doing out here, yo? Nah, your man Bernard came through. He wanted a half a brick. I went and got it from my Spanish peoples. I'm waiting for him to come back right now. Listen, bro, if you give that nigga that, we going to prison, bro. That nigga the police, man. For real? For real. Keep that shit. Fuck him. For real, yo? Yo, all right. He listen. He keep it. That's it. I'm not fucking with the music shit no more. I'm done with it. I'm done with everybody in the game. I don't hear it. Leave me the fuck alone. I don't trust nothing right now. Right? Lou and them still trying to do the music shit, though. Kevin Childs and them trying to do the music shit now. Bernard working with Kevin Childs now in the music shit. How do I know? You remember Jack the Rapper? I think they had set up some type of bus where they was taking all their rappers, their artists, where they was trying to promote out to Jack the Rapper. And Lou was with them on the bus. Lou come back and tell me, yo, guess who was on the bus with Kevin Childs and them? Who? Bernard Thomas. I said, why you ain't tell that nigga that's the police, yo? I don't know, yo. I don't know. But that nigga ain't say nothing about that money. The number one person, when I was reading that paperwork, bro, the main agent in Kevin Childs' case was Bernard Thomas, man. He was doing things with this man that, you know, the game, giving him a gun, did all type of crazy shit. When Bernard was coming at me, I ain't never talk about the game with that nigga, bro. Never. That one time, and I caught it through the grace of God, and that was that, bro. If I'd have made that sale, or if Lou would have made that sale, we done. How Bernard got to him, I don't know. But you allowed him in, bro. By you allowing him in, to me, that's what brought down your whole organization, bro. And the funny shit about it, you know who Bernard Thomas is, bro?
Who's
you
that?
know that song, Hell to the No-No? Hell to the No-No.
Really.
Bishop Bowinkle, Hell to the No-No. His song went viral on YouTube. You never heard that?
Oh,
Well,
okay, yeah. Older guy, yeah.
Older guy. That's Bernard Thomas, man.
Okay, wow.
That's
All
who
right.
brought down, to me, that's who brought down his whole organization. And he knows this. But why you don't speak on that, bro? See, there's a difference. It's a difference. Hear me out, bro. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful, bro. But I'm definitely going to clear it up that, you know, my name on your paperwork, and you know that's Fugazi, bro. You know that. But the bottom line is this. If I'm on your paperwork, and if I was working with the government, forget Kevin Childs. Government, police, officers, whoever you are, y'all come up on Vlad and expose me and say, yes, AZ was the one that helped us put this one away, that one. Never in my fucking life, bro. Never, bro. Yes, I told on Kevin Clark for shooting me, and he told on the rest. That happened. And I feel that fuck them, because they shouldn't have done that. They shouldn't murder 6 people for nothing, bro. For nothing, bro. When that happened to Kevin Child Mom, I felt that, bro, because that was like the same situation that happened to me, bro. I don't feel nobody should die from this bullshit, bro. But for you to come up out of there and get on these platforms and say this, look at it like this too, bro. While you was in prison, you released your Don Diva magazine, right? The first thing that I would have put in the Don Diva magazine is the paperwork, is the proof that AZ told on me. That would have been the first article I launched, bro. You ain't never do that. After all these years, here you come with this now. My question becomes why and who sent you? That's how I feel about that, bro.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yes, sir.
Well, after all the craziness happens and Rich Porter gets killed, you were basically done with the drug game. But Alpo was still doing his thing, and I guess in July of 1990, he was indicted on federal drug charges, and then he became a fugitive. He ended up going to D.C., and things started to really kind of step up at that point. Alpo ends up getting shot, and he survives. And then he met up with Wayne Perry, who essentially became a hitman for him. And more people start getting killed. And then the guy who actually helped him kill Rich Porter, Big Head Gary, basically they get into a situation with Big Head Gary, and Wayne Perry ends up killing Gary. And, Alpo describes a situation where, Gary ends up shitting on himself. They go and strip him naked and drag him through the woods. And I guess his penis gets cut off or whatever.
That shit sounds demonic and evil, right? That shit sounds crazy, bro.
Yeah. So basically the guy that helped him commit one of his most high profile murders, he ends up killing him. Then Alpo ends up killing Demencio.
Yes.
Because I guess Demencio was sleeping with Big Head Gary's baby mother. Even though he was spending $400,000 a month with him on drugs, he ends up killing him. And then when he talked about his most gruesome murder, him and Wayne Perry ended up killing a woman 2 blocks from the White House. I guess they stabbed her first and then blew her brains out in the car, dumped her body off on the side of the road. And it's just uglier and uglier.
Nasty,
and from what I understand,
nasty, and disgusting, bro. When I hear that, I hear those stories, it's like, the fuck happened to you, bro?
Yeah. And you're hearing about these stories while you're still in New York as they're happening?
I didn't hear about those stories until I heard the interviews from him.
Aha. Okay. Got
it. I don't know nothing. I don't know what he's doing out of town. I don't have a clue. I don't have a clue who Wayne Perry is. I don't even know Big Head Gary until these names start popping up on the interviews. I don't have a clue of what's going on. I don't have nothing to do with that situation at all. I hear it on interviews. I read it in magazines. I'm like, wow. I didn't know none of this shit, bro. But let me share this.
Go ahead.
Playing basketball again. It always playing basketball with Jesus. Me and 2 guys against Jesus and 2 other guys. Spanish Jesus. May his soul rest in peace too, man. He just passed away about a year ago. Playing ball with Jesus. We playing ball. Some dudes pull up like 4 cars deep while we playing ball. They call Jesus. Brooklyn dudes. Jesus was from Brooklyn. So Jesus talking to him for a minute. They leave, they get back in their car and leave. Jesus came over and said, yo, hey, man, them niggas came to murder you, bro. I'm like, word? For what? The fuck? I don't know. I have a clue. The fuck I do, man? Nah, your man, they said your man killed they man Demiscio out in D.C. So if you hear AZ, you hear Alpo, you hear AZ, you hear Rich. So they was coming to murder me based on that. But Jesus knew. Jesus knew them. Yeah.
So sorry, let me just stop you for a second. So did you know Demencio?
I didn't know him. I didn't know none of these people, bro.
Okay, got it. Okay, sorry.
You feel me? So Jesus blocked that. Let them know, like, nah, they don't fuck with homie like that. They doing him and Holmes do him. So they respected that in that moment. But Jesus also said, yo, we gonna play for a minute, but let's get up out of here because, yo, I don't trust nobody. So I got up out of there. And another time, we doing the mob style shit And the cats from Queens, they wanted us to perform at a cat named Coley. I think it was a birthday party. They was feeling the mob style shit. So we went out there and performed. And as we performing, a cat that I knew from Queens, I'm not going to say his name, because certain people don't want their name mixed up in all this crazy shit. He see me as we perform, he like, yo, hey, come to the back real quick. So I hear him, I go in the back, he like, yo, dog, listen, man, you gotta get up out of here. Some niggas out front, I had my car parked out front, and they plan on doing something to you. I don't know if it was the same dudes, but yo, give me the keys to your car, he had a van, take this van and get your crew up out of here, bro. So we slid out the back and we got up out of there. The next day, my man bought me my car. I don't know what that situation was for, but it had to be, might be the same people or whatever. Just by, being affiliated by the name, with this trouble was coming at me, bro. And I ain't have nothing to do with that shit, bro.
Yeah.
Facts.
Crazy. Well, and then on November 7th, 1991, Alpo was arrested in Washington, D.C. He was charged with conspiracy to commit murder, various drug charges, 14 counts of murder, including the murder of a D.C. drug dealer, Michael Anthony Salters, a.k.a. Frey, as well as the murder of Demencio Benson. So Alpo was facing the death penalty or 7 life sentences. And in order to actually avoid that, he ended up turning informant and started to testify against all the people around him. Alpo admitted to 14 murders, 8 murders in D.C., 2 in Maryland, and 4 in New York. One of which, I assume one of the New York ones is Rich Porter. Do you know who the other 3 were?
I don't have a clue, bro.
Okay.
I don't have a clue, bro.
People compared Alpo to serial killer Ted Bundy. Do you think that's a fair comparison?
I said that, I might have said it first. I said, dude turned into a serial killer.
Yeah.
Because that's a lot of bodies, bro. Like I said, I don't understand how anybody could take a life, period, of anybody for whatever, money, drugs, or whatever. Or even feeling that, it's like you playing the game too hard, bro. It ain't that serious, bro. You understand?
Yeah.
And karma is real, bro. You can't keep being disrespectful and not get disrespected, bro. It's coming back, bro. One time I read in this book, and it made all the sense to me. I think it was a book called The Science of God. It said killers will kill killers, but surely die in their celebration. I was like, wow, man. And that shit is real, bro. Because if you kill somebody for the rest of your life, you got to live your life around yes men. Nobody checking you for what you've done. Because they're in fear. So you're buried alive, bro. If that's your circle.
Yeah.
And that's how I see it, bro. That's how I see that, bro.
Well, because of Alpo's testimony, Wayne Perry got 5 consecutive life sentences without the possibility of parole.
Yes.
And Alpo was sentenced to 35 years in prison.
Yes.
While Alpo is locked up, we talked about this earlier in the interview. You put together the script, which eventually becomes Paid in Full. You get Alpo to sign paperwork saying that he's okay with that as well. And you guys did speak while he was locked up. I think K-Slay did a mixtape when he got the 2 of you on the phone.
Yes.
And then in 2015, Alpo gets released from prison.
Yes.
So initially, he was in witness protection in Maine
Yes.
under the assumed name Abraham G. Rodriguez.
Mm-hmm.
But then at one point, he ends up leaving witness protection and actually living in Harlem, which really kind of stunned everybody, including myself. Now, were you surprised that he actually moved back to Harlem and started to show his face and do Instagram videos and the such?
Let me say this. The movie Paid in Full, right? You see how it ends? When I get out, I'm going to still be the man. That's Alpo, bro. Alpo loved that shit, bro. He loved it. The fame. He loved it, bro. He knew no other way, bro. Personally speaking, let me say this, bro. I hate that shit, bro. I hate the fame. I hate motherfuckers. Yo, you're a legend. You're OG. Nah, bro, I'm AZ, bro. That shit ain't nothing to brag about. Look what the fuck happened to us, bro. That shit is not to be promoted. When I wrote the movie Trap, it was basically telling you this is a trap, bro. This is a setup. This shit is rigged. Look what happened to us. Go the other way. This is a dead-end street. This is quicksand. But no, they put it out as Paid in Full, et cetera, et cetera. Now I'm saying that to say what? Alpo lost in the game. You got busted. You became a snitch. Everybody's calling you a rat. So you lost, but he didn't accept the loss, bruh. Fuck that. Back out. Louis Vuitton, matching helmets, bike. I'm back.
Yeah.
I'm back. Jumping off of planes, pole life, drop top cars at the All-Star game. I'm like, wow, I'm seeing this on YouTube. I'm viewing this like, wow, bro. But prior to this, when that documentary trailer released, I don't think that should have never been released. Because to me, that was like, time heals wounds. But when that came out, that was like, he shot Richard again in front of everybody, bro. So it made everybody, the internet went crazy on him. To the point where Troy Reeves had to make a video apologizing. That's how nasty that, set on people like, nah, man. Nah, bro. I think that's what stirred up the whole energy like, fuck Alpo. You feel me? After all those years, the hood like, fuck that, bro. That wasn't it. That move was not it, bro. If you wanted to do a trailer, you shouldn't have never put that in there. You could have just said, Alpo's coming soon. Don't show the details of that, bro. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, he actually went out to the place where he dumped the body and everything.
Crazy,
yeah,
bro.
No, it was crazy.
Crazy, bro.
And
yeah.
Go ahead.
After that, a friend of mine saw him in a restaurant. Not in a restaurant, I think in a supermarket somewhere. He bumped into Alpo. And he was like, oh, shit, what's up, man? Yo, where A at, man? This is what he said, post that. Yo, get A on the phone right now, because he know that's my man. He calls me. My man, he said, yo, somebody want to speak to you. He takes the phone. Yo, who this? That's what I say. Yo, you don't know who this is? I said, wow. Alpo. What's up, Big A? We got to talk, man. I ain't seen you since I've been home. We got to talk, man. I said, yeah, we do, bro. I said, yo, give my man your number. The next time I'm around, let's talk. So he took the number, but I ain't want to talk to him, being honest. He run into him again. Right? Yo, hey, what's up, man? I thought we were supposed to meet. I said, you know what? Let's meet this Sunday, bro. Meet me out at Houston's restaurant, Jersey, Roof 4, around 12 o'clock when the street paparazzi ain't out. The restaurant was dark, so we could sit down and talk, bro. And we met and we sat down and talked, bro. And I asked him a question, bro. It was a question I always wanted to ask him, bro. Face to face. The night that you did that to Rich, was you going to kill me, bro? He said, nah, I would never did that to you. Hey, I love you, man. You the one made me who I am, bro. You the one that put me on. I would have never did that to you. Do I believe him? Did I believe him? I got to say no to that, bro, because there's no reason for you to come back that night and want to speak to me, bro. And I feel that in my gut. You understand? So prior to that, no, in that same meeting, he was telling me he had a situation where he was about to get a movie deal and blah, 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 blah. And I'm going to need you on this because I can't tell my life without you, eh? I'm going to need you on this. I said, yo, brother, when the proposal comes to whatever, get at Sherm and he'll get at me. He said, all right. He left, I left. Years went past, 3 or 4 years went past. I think that might have been like 2019 when we did that. Time go on. A woman contacted me. We know her, but I'm not saying no names because that's not important. Yo, hey, I got a situation with this lawyer. He want to do something with you and Alpo. He wants y'all to meet. He want to test y'all temperature together because he got something where it was going to be an interview, 60 minutes or whatever was ready. I don't know. He was saying all this great stuff. He felt like the world was ready for us to talk to the world, Q&A, and they think this would be really big, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, all right. He came to the meeting. I was at the meeting. She was at the meeting. We talked. Hotel, lobby area, we talked. And we agreed. Right? So the lawyer said, I'm going to email you the contracts or whatever in a couple of weeks. A couple of weeks passed. He emailed the contract. I'm looking at it. I ain't like it. A few things. Me and my team, we went over it. I wasn't feeling it. So I called the dude. I said, yo, bro, I want to record you. I want to record you telling me play-by-play with these contracts mean. So he said, all right, no problem. He said, I'm going to record it just as well. I said, no problem. So he recorded it. And that was that Wednesday. He said, I need to get this done really quick because I got some investors ready to go on this. I'm like, all right, no problem. I said, that Sunday, I'll be ready to sign. I'll tell you yay or nay that Sunday. Right? That Sunday came. I get a phone call early in the morning, bro. Yo, they killed your man. Who you talking about? Alpo got killed. Fuck you talking about, man? For real, dog. Wow. I ain't believe him. I hang up. I knew the girl that set up the meeting. She was close with him. I called her immediately. What happened? She crying when I pick up the phone. I was like, wow, it must be true. Yeah, he dead, eh? You keep crying. I'm like, wow, get the fuck out of here, bro. The same day I was going to sign Halloween, I get this phone call. I was like, wow. God said, there'll be none of this, bro. There'll be none of this. When I was 9 years old, brother, something happened to me spiritually when I was 9 on Halloween, bro. And I told this story before. It's in my book. And I said it maybe on another platform somewhere before. But that made this whole story make sense to me, bro. And that's the movie that needs to be done from a spiritual perspective to make everybody see that this shit is deeper than what we see on the surface, bro. For real. God don't make no mistakes, bro. For this man to lose his life on Halloween, after a Halloween party, wearing a Louis Vuitton Jason mask, bro, that's spooky within the matrix of it all, if you could understand where I'm coming from. Fuck the snitch and the killer. Wow, bro. Wow, bro.
I mean, I think no one was really surprised when Alpo got killed in Harlem. It was, like I know someone who knows Alpo and would hang out in Harlem a lot. And he said that Alpo would be hanging out on the corner of Harlem with a bulletproof vest with his friends in front of a store like Goodfellas. Like, everything was all good. I had actually spoken to Alpo maybe about 9 months ago. We got on the phone. It was the one and only time we spoke. We talked about doing an interview. I kicked around some prices to him. He's like, all right, cool. I'm going to get back to you. He was very polite on the phone. I'm not going to say anything bad about him. He was very polite, very respectful. I never heard back from him. And then maybe about a few weeks before he died, he had made a video basically saying, man, fuck Vlad. He gave me this lowball ass offer. Man, I would never do a fucking interview. Fuck him. And I'm thinking like, this is just a business negotiation. If you didn't like the offer, come back with another offer. It was kind of a very strange kind of reaction in terms of my point of view, but it kind of tells me, okay, this is the type of person I'm dealing with. This is not a typical, logical business person. This guy's just run off emotion. And, what I've been hearing, and, this is not, fact right now, but I had heard that him getting killed wasn't over an old murder or an old, ripoff or a drug deal or whatever. It was over a girl that happened somewhat recently. That he was messing with some girl and the girl's dude had confronted him and he was just mad, disrespectful of the guy, and the guy ended up killing him. I don't know whether this part is true or not, but based on what you're telling me in terms of how Alpo rolls and how he's always rolled, this really would not surprise me. And it is a very karmic way to ultimately reach your end.
Definitely, bro. I don't know why or who, but I don't believe that it was an old beef, because I don't think nobody would from the past would do that, because the motive would be for that, and you would get locked up immediately. You feel me? So a person, people not stupid, using common sense. Nobody would do that for knowing that the police, the government is expecting for that to happen. But if it was a new beef, I don't even look at it as the person, whoever did it, if he's dead, because that's another thought that's out there.
Yeah, I heard that. I heard that conspiracy theory as well. He's not really dead. Yeah.
If it happened, Alpo killed himself to me, bro. Killed himself, bro. He didn't accept the loss. You lost in the game. They put you in Maine, gave you a decent job. If it was me, if the shoe was on my foot, I would have stayed in Maine, worked my job, and stayed away from that world, period, bro. I got another chance, bro. All the shit I did, thank you, God, bro. I'm going to stay up here and try to create a whole new life. If someone want to do my story, get at me, make my money, and I would have never came back to this shit, bro. If they'd have gave me that apartment today, away from all this bullshit, I would have stayed in there, even though I ain't under no witness protection program. I don't want to be around none of this shit. That's who Azie is, bro. That's the difference, bro. Some people love that shit. They want that shit, bro. That's all they know, bro.
Right, because based on the reports, after he got shot, and I guess he's driving to the police station or the hospital, whatever, he's throwing drugs out of his car. And that to me is just insane. Like, yo, you walked away from 7 life sentences or the death penalty. You told on everyone. You did you got 35 years. You're still here. You're still alive. Why would you go back to selling drugs again out of all the things that you could do, knowing everything that you know, but you're back to drug dealing again? Like at your age, it just makes no sense. But I mean, I guess that's Alpo for you.
It's scary, bro, because when I go into thought, it's like you're being disrespectful, not just to the people, lives that you took, families, but you're also being disrespectful to the government themselves, bro. Because they may be getting calls, how's y'all allowing this man to be doing this, walk free, blah, 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 you know. Then he leaves witness protection program according to what they say. Who's to say that they didn't do that shit, bro? Because you're being these are all the things that you saying, fuck it, bro. This is how I'm going out.
Yeah.
But like I said, to end on Halloween, bro, spiritually, it makes everything make sense to me, bro.
Well, he was shot 5 times, and after the news broke, people started to comment on it, one of which was Rich Porter's niece. She said...
daughter. That's my daughter.
Okay.
It's my daughter.
Wait, your actual daughter?
That's my daughter from Patricia Porter.
Oh, aha.
That's
okay. Well, she commented on the situation. She said, we waited for a long time for this day to come, and we are happy. That's why we're out celebrating, drinking champagne. Everybody's reaction right now is celebrating. It's a celebration for Harlem, period. Every dog has their day. Now my uncle can finally rest in peace 32 years later. It's just that the pain my mother felt all these years, I've been feeling the pain with her. Every dog has their day, and today was his. I believe in karma, and I'm glad that I was there to witness it.
She spoke her mind, bro. I think she spoke that to the Daily News. I heard about it just as you heard about it. Like, wow. Wow. And, you know, they family, you know, Patricia, I'm still in contact with her. That's family for life. For life. And I clearly understand where she coming from, and I understand the celebration, bro. You understand? Her brothers, that whole situation was just too much to bear coming from the family point of view. And when I spoke to Alpo, when we met at the restaurant, I asked him, like, yo, how you feel about all these people on YouTube saying this and that and that? I don't give a fuck about them. I said, if I meet them in person, you know, they're going to have that same energy. This is how he was talking. He said, the only one, this is his exact words to me, the only one that I would allow to do something to me is Pat. Because I understand where she's coming from. That's his exact words. I said, fam, don't bother them. Just let them live, bro. He said, I understand, eh? I get that. That's his exact words, bro. So, you understand that's real, bro. You know, and it's not like, you know, they went on celebrate. I guess in the moment, that's how they felt, and that's what it was, bro.
Yeah, and they have their right. They have the right to celebrate. They had a certain degree of closure to their life.
But it's just nasty. It's just nasty because when I look at it, all those pictures you see, all the stories you hear about us, the fun, the money, look how it ended, bro. Nobody left that shit untouched, bro.
Yeah.
Nasty, bro. So for the youth that's looking at this, bro, Like I tried before, I'm saying it again. This ain't the way, bro. This ain't the way. Don't jump in none of these costumes and act like this is it. Don't try to repeat Paid in Full like we repeated Scarface. Get out of there, bro. And this is from the heart. I'm coming to you from my heart to my mind, brother. Not from my pocket to my heart. From my heart to my mind. This is real, bro. And that's the only reason why I'm up here doing this interview, bro.
And that's how we're going to end it. AZ, I appreciate you coming in and telling your story once again. I mean, I felt it was important to have you come back after Alpo's death to kind of, bring the whole story full circle. At the end of the day, you've taken responsibility for all your actions.
All of it, bro.
You've never ducked from anything. You've never made excuses. And, like you've always said, ever since you stopped being in the game, this is a cautionary tale for people coming up who want to be the next AZ, who want to be the next Big Meech, who want to be the next Nicky Barnes, the next Frank Lucas, the next Freeway Ricky Ross. And every person I interview, and I've interviewed some of the biggest drug dealers out there that are still alive, and the story's always the same. It's always, hey, we had a good run. We had 5 years. We had 3 years. We had 8 years. It all came crashing down. We all lost everything. We didn't get to see our families grow up. We lost people close to us. The feds will always have an advantage. You'll never beat, like when you see the federal paperwork when it says the United States of America versus your name, you're not going to compete with that. You can't compete
win,
with the
bro.
United States
You
of America.
can't win, brother. One door in, 2 doors out. Penitentiary or the graveyard, bro. Bottom line, bro. And let us say this, bro. To all those that lost their lives in the game, let's give them a moment of silence. And may Alpo's soul rest in peace.
There you have it. Azie Faison, appreciate you coming in. Until next time.
God bless you, bro.
Peace.